L.com.
Spring and summer is the right time to install your fireplace. Find your perfect fireplace and have it installed and ready before the cold weather hits again. If you already have a wood fireplace, consider a fireplace insert or check out the entire selection at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces on East Franklin and Riverside in Minneapolis. It will transform your inefficient fireplace into a reliable, environmentally smart heating system.
This is Peter Solak, owner of Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces. Have you ever watched your dog or cat curl up in front of a fire? It's primordial, the way it touches both the animal and the human. We know that fire reaches deep into the heart and soul. Let us show you how. We have over 35 working units on display here in Minneapolis. We are located at the east end of Riverside Avenue at 2901 East Franklin. From I-94, take the Riverside Avenue exit. Find us also online at woodlandstoves.com. Let us help you make a fireplace part of your life.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. That's 612-373-3333.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon, Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Showers and thunderstorms this evening with an overnight low of 52. Some thunderstorms this evening could be severe. Then Wednesday, a chance of rain with a high of 71. The second annual Queer Me Out series explores the vibrant history of Twin Cities pride. Queer Me Out will take place at the W Minneapolis The Fauché, Tuesday, June 4th at 5:30 p.m. Ticket information at am950radio.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. And I'm your host, Robert Pilot, and hey, we discuss local and national Native news and events. And as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dega. And this portion of the show is supported by JS Bean Factory off Randolph Avenue in St. Paul. Only the good stuff keeps us awake.
See, Wendy, I'm right once a day.
Once a day, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm like a somewhat broken clock, but hey, we got a little weather coming here, and we got Ruth Buffalo coming up next, and we're just hoping that the radio station doesn't blow over in Eden Prairie, and we're going to be all very groovy here.
I hope so.
Ooh, I just heard thunder.
Yeah, I hear distant thunder.
That's my name.
I know, that's Robert's name.
Yeah.
Wakanja Hade. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, let's give everybody their name here. Wakanja Hade is my name. Wendy.
Hanaji Hihani.
Haley.
Chasha Peungawe Nink.
All right. Well, we're all set here. We're worried about the storm, but Wendy, you cleaned out the area in the basement in case we have to go down there during the show.
Every year during this time of year when we have like storms and tornado watches and straight line winds and all kinds of things, I always say to myself, gosh, we don't even have a place in our basement like where we could go and hide. So today I went to the basement and I cleaned out all the stuff that was underneath the steps because I heard that was a good place to go and it's safe, right? Like under the steps of your house.
And in the bathtub too.
Oh, in the bathtub too. That's right. Well, we could all jump in the bathtub
Well,
too,
we got to
but
clean it first.
not your bathtub. It's downstairs. My bathtub you could go into, but anyway.
I don't think we want to go upstairs for a tornado.
No, definitely not.
So we'll use my bathtub.
We'll go in the basement. So I just cleaned the area out and I put 2 chairs there, and it's just like, all right, well, if we need to, at least it's there. We could run down there. I'll have to grab the dog and go. But yeah, I have this app on my phone and I love it. I just want to talk about it for a second. It's called RainAware.
Wendy's our official.
It's one word, RainAware. And what it does is it captures your current location. So it knows your latitude and longitude. And it gives you, of course it did. Of course
it's listening to
everybody's listening. There's no way to get around that.
Except for this show, no one's listening. No, wait, we have
Alexa's listening too. But anyway, it really gives very accurate readings of weather. So no matter where you are, it follows you and it tells you where you are and it gives you an accurate weather alert. So right now it's saying that it's going to rain ending in 2 hours and 52 minutes. That's here in St. Paul, right where we are.
Right at 5 o'clock here.
Yeah,
5:10
and it's raining
here.
it's going to be raining really hard for the next 60 minutes. And then after that, it's going to continue raining moderately.
I love Wendy. She loves giving weather reports all the time. So I asked her to come on because it's usually her paid vacation day today, but she jumped on because and she goes, I don't want to talk about weather, but there you go. She talked about weather.
Talked about the weather. So yeah, I kind of like severe weather. I just don't want, I really do. I just don't want anybody to get hurt. I don't want trees falling on people's houses. I don't want, anybody's place to get flooded out, but I do like a little bit of,
Oh, hail no.
It's the energy.
The energy of the storm, right? It's kind of exciting. Yeah. I should have been a storm chaser.
I was just gonna say that, Wendy. Like that was growing up when there was like severe weather. I would run outside and like patrol the neighborhood, and I would be the tornado chaser.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Well, that's a Minnesota Midwestern thing too, Haley and Wendy. Is that when we have storms, I always open the door and freak Wendy out. It's like, close the door, and I'm going, I want to look at the storm. I want to go out there.
Yeah, he does. I know.
I don't know. I think it's a Minnesota Midwestern
one of my favorite
thing.
Movies was Twister. That was Helen Hunt, and I can't remember the name of the guy, but he died early. Yeah,
they're making a new one of that.
Yeah, I just heard that, Haley. Yeah,
they don't need to make new ones of these movies.
Good.
Yeah, I'm sure
it does.
Good. Yeah, so
oh, I hate remakes.
This one looks good though.
Oh, Haley.
Well, you know what?
It is the original Willy Wonka. He can't get into the newer Willy Wonkers either.
I know.
I like the way you say Wonkers.
Wonker.
Willy Wonka. That New York accent.
Storm chasing or like, just like opening up the house is not only a Midwestern thing, but also like a very Native American thing to do.
Ooh.
Like I feel like we open our windows and let that energy in, and we like to, be quiet and listen to the storm when it, comes through.
I'm going to go open the front door.
No, I got the air conditioning on.
I know our parents aren't here to tell us we can't do that though.
Yeah.
Well, we can do anything we want.
That's right. We can have the door open and the air conditioning
That's right.
Mm-hmm. What else can we do?
We want. We could have dessert before dinner if we want.
Right.
Yeah, breakfast for dinner.
That's right.
I always love breakfast for dinner.
Yeah, we like that too.
Yeah. Wow, this has been an exciting segment. I'm really glad you got on, Wendy, for this segment. This has been awesome. I'm half awake because I've been in meetings all day.
Oh,
But Robert's
fun.
awesome because he can sleep at like the drop of a hat. Like he lays down and within 3 minutes he's asleep and he's snoring and he's like has like REM time sleep.
Is this like things you
And
should be talking about on the air about my
well,
personal sleep
I'm just
habits?
saying you're so lucky. I
Jeez.
wish that I could fall asleep like that. That's
Wendy's
a gift. That
Wendy's
really
a
is.
vampire.
That's a gift, Robert. that
Wendy's a
you-
vampire if we're telling secrets here,
Oh,
right?
I know. Well, I always say I was born at 11:55 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
for a reason because I sleep till 11:55 most mornings.
I know Wendy's retired now, but she used to have to get up early.
I do get a lot done during the waking hours.
I'm never there to witness it because I'm sleeping.
Oh my goodness.
So what's the weather going to be here now? I wonder.
The rain is ending in 2 hours and 52 minutes. It's very heavy rain for the next 60 minutes, and then it's going to kind of taper off, but it's still not going to be light. Medium rain. medium size rain. It doesn't tell us the wind though, but it does have lightning bolts coming down.
Did you see that, Haley? Wendy
Rain
just got
Aware.
serious.
It's a free app. Just get it on your phone. It's really awesome.
Wendy just got really serious.
Humidity is 87% and the dew point is 63 degrees
Wow.
Fahrenheit.
You should go back to school and get your meteorologist.
That would be fun, right? I took a
No.
course in school about meteorology and I really loved it. I thought the weather was really fascinating.
It is.
What do
How is it over
Ooh.
there, Haley? Do you have
I
hail
just saw
going
some
on?
lightning.
Yeah, it's constant rain. Well, I'm by the border by Wisconsin, still in Minnesota here, so not hail yet, but constant thunder.
Yeah, you
Constant
guys,
wakanja.
Wakanda. You guys might be able to hear some thunder. It's thundering here.
I don't know. Wow. Well, we were able to really, put in 10 minutes here of
Nothing. Nothingness.
vital information to our listeners out there. And a lot of the show in Wisconsin here too on the civic media is pre-recorded, so they'll already have had this storm, and
Oh yeah.
they'll be excited that we
That's
were,
right. This is happening on Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Hey,
May
thank
21st.
Thank goodness we're going to have Ruth Buffalo up next here with some content and what's going on here. So enough of us babbling. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Oh, I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas is your pathway to a bachelor's degree. Located in downtown Minneapolis, Doherty Family College offers an affordable education that includes free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaches, and a Metro Transit pass. As a full-time Doherty Family College student, you'll benefit from mentorship from St. Thomas faculty, along with paid internships and support from Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn your dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
As we gear up for American Indian Celebration Month in May, it's crucial to prioritize our health, especially with celebrations on the horizon. If you start feeling off, like a fever, a tickle in the throat, or heavy fatigue, don't ignore it. Take an at-home COVID-19 test right away. And remember, if you're not feeling well, it's okay to stay home. Your health comes first. A quick note on COVID testing. The Minnesota Department of Health's free COVID-19 at-home testing program has ended. But don't worry, if you're uninsured, you can still find no-cost tests using the CDC's COVID-19 testing locator. If you have health insurance, you might be eligible for free tests or reimbursement for testing expenses. Just ask your local pharmacy or health insurance provider for more information. Stay informed, stay protected. Let's prioritize our health this American Indian Celebration Month in May and ensure our communities and elders remain safe and healthy. This message is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Department of Health. Visit health.state.mn.us.
This is Leonard Peltier. I am in Coleman 1 U.S. Penitentiary, and I'm listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, we are listening to you, Neil. Neil popped up something here that he wants us to quit talking about 70s and 90s movies and talk about something important. So we do have Ruth Buffalo on to talk about something important. Welcome, Ruth.
Hi. Lots of good odds. Thank you for having me.
Right on. Ruth Buffalo is the CEO of Minnesota Women's Resource Center here, and we love having updates and just talking about what's going on in Indian country. Welcome, as always.
Yes, thank you. We have a lot of things happening here at MIWRC, and we have a few job postings and some exciting trainings and support groups coming up. So we have 2 hybrid options for a grant and development manager, and then also a accountant as a hybrid option, and then in our drop-in center, a support worker position vacancy right now, and then I believe a foster care licensure position that is open right now. So.
Wow. And just by listening to those jobs, you guys do so much different work in Indian country. We should talk about that a little bit, and also how people can lock in to find out more about these jobs.
Yes, thank you. Our website is miwrc.org. /careers if you want to go straight to careers. Otherwise, if you go to the homepage on the tabs up there, you'll find careers. We also have traditional practitioner. So we have the drop-in center support worker, Indigenous traditional practitioner, a grant and development manager, accountant, and we just finished up our final interviews for ICWA liaison position. That will be filled soon, and then our foster care licensure specialist. And again, that's at miwrc.org.
Well, Ruth, you guys do a lot of stuff there, and it's amazing every time I talk to you or anybody about Minnesota Women's Resource Center here. I'm amazed at what you're doing for the community. How long has Minnesota Women's Resource Center been around?
Since September 16th of 1984. And thank you for asking that question too, because our 40th anniversary is approaching us this September 16th. 2024 will be the 40th anniversary for Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
You know, I wasn't able to get to your special event during Native American Month here in Minnesota. How did the cakewalk go? Because I was I had FOMO there. I did see some.
Yeah, it went really good. It was super fun. Our staff got really creative, and we have such amazing staff. And for the cakewalk, they incorporated our language, the language of the 2 tribal nations that are historically, the tribal lands that we reside on of the Dakota and the Anishinaabe people. So both the Dakota and the Ojibwe language were both on each of the placeholders, that you walked around for the cakewalk. So, and I believe it was numbers. So 2 versions, 2 different languages for each number. And we had hand drum singer on hand, on site as he was the music for us. So it was super fun. And then, how they have those, the waffles on Facebook, for different beautiful ribbon skirts or jewelry, how our relatives use their laptops and use that sort of like that Wheel of Fortune thing. So they were using that as well for the numbers, to pick the numbers. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I actually ended up getting voluntold to join the cakewalk, and I won. But what did I do? I said, let's have one more round. I didn't opt into getting a cake. I just said, let's have one more round. And so someone else won, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. People were really getting into it, dancing, and yeah.
That's awesome. That could be an annual thing, because again, that really spoke to me. I don't think I've been in a cake walk since grade school. So that really spoke to me.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and everybody got to kind of get in touch with their inner child, I guess you could say. And we were even talking about having musical chairs, but the consensus was it would get too competitive, so we decided not to. But I hear that through the MUD group here in the Twin Cities metro area, the Metro Urban Indian Directors Group, that they used to host kickball tournaments, but they stopped because they got too competitive. So, and they said they might bring them back, though. They might bring them back. I think from the 90s was the last time they had that, but I could be mistaken.
I believe it. The urban Indians here in the Twin Cities were huge in the 70s and 60s, 70s, and 80s. Softball leagues, basketball leagues. It was really popping here in the Twin Cities, and that'd be great to bring some of that back.
Yeah.
Competitive cakewalk dancing.
Yeah.
Get a T-shirt and a name, and
yeah, I hear they're having. I think they have basketball leagues going on at the Indian Center, and then also, is it pickleball? I think on certain days too. So I'm hoping to check some of that out sometime.
Well, we don't talk about this, and we've had you on, Ruth, for at least 6 years. 6
Crazy.
of our 7 years. Yeah, but you were a college basketball player, and I always remember that now when I see you in person, because you're almost as tall as I am.
Yeah, a lot of tall hidadzas. But yeah, I did play college ball and got invited to a pro women's basketball showcase, and my daughter, had other plans. She came into existence, and that was amazing. And I had a chance to play later. Kind of came full circle and got to play semi-pro. And we actually beat the team for Minneapolis. It was called Minnesota Black Ice. But yeah, I remember being called back home though to lead my tribe's summer youth employment program. And when I would tell the youth workers that I had, played a few games in the semi-pro for, they would say, "Oh, you mean like Will Ferrell?" And I was like, "Oh," never mentioned semi-pro again after that. Anyways,
but that's funny. That's super funny. Yeah, it's amazing. Well, it's amazing what's happening in women's basketball right now, and I'm all about it. So. It's exciting. We have a Native American, Haley, the name again, because I have a good memory, but it's short.
Yeah, Alyssa Peely.
Yes, thank you. We've had her on the show, and we're excited that she's in community, and the WNBA is really getting their just dues finally, after all these years.
Yes, for sure. It's super cool too to see our relatives who are men or boys who identify in that way. Like my son, he's a big basketball player, and he has the jerseys or the hoodies of the WNBA logo. So it's cool to see like our men and boys supporting the WNBA too.
Yeah, somebody on Twitter mentioned, a sports guy mentioned that his son was shooting threes, and he said he was shooting them like Caitlin. And that's awesome to hear. That that they're crossing over, and people are really paying attention to women's sports. We got the hockey team here in Minnesota too that's going all the way, hopefully, and so it's just amazing to be able to support, and especially with our Indigenous players.
Yes, and what is it, game 1 of the Western Conference Finals will be here in the cities tomorrow, Timberwolves, and they'll be taking on the Dallas Mavericks, and right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
Kyrie Irving, right? He plays for Dallas, and he's has Standing Rock ties. I think his mom is from Standing Rock, so it'll be kind of cool. And it was awesome to see him wearing his moccasins on his previous game. Yeah.
Yes. Well, Ruth, maybe you can get us some tickets there. I know you got some.
No, maybe you guys can help us out. We were looking though. The game that's going to be next Monday is like twice as much as what tomorrow's is going to be, and I haven't looked. My husband was looking yesterday. They're kind of spendy, but it looks like they're going to increase in price Monday's game.
Well, maybe we can get a big TV at Minnesota Women's Resource Center and all get together and watch the game.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. We've been talking about hosting movie nights here, so.
Oh, that's a great idea too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, well, I have some movies here. If you want to bring back Smoke Signals and all those Skins and all those old movies, I got those here. We can definitely come and play them. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Yep. I'll give our traditional birthing director Umbaji. She's leading those efforts, and it looks like we'll be hosting a movie night and wild rice egg roll fundraiser June 20th. Movie night, egg roll, wild rice fundraiser.
That's awesome. Ruth, can you stick on for another segment? Love to talk a little bit more about the opportunities at Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center and how to get involved in touch. And I just would like to pick out one program you guys do because there's so many, and talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Right on. Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake with Ruth Buffalo and Haley Cherry. We'll be right back. Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl. J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
If you're in a safe space and want to talk about domestic or sexual violence, Strong Hearts Native Helpline is a culturally appropriate helpline for Native American and Alaska Natives. Strong Hearts advocates are available 24/7 and can provide personalized safety planning, crisis intervention, and help locate Native-centered resources and service providers. For more information, call or text 1-844-762-8483. That's 1-844-7-NATIVE. Or chat online at www.strongheartshelpline.org. Free, safe, anonymous, confidential. Strong Hearts Native Helpline.
Dive into a world where tradition meets innovation, satire meets symbolism, and Native American art takes center stage. All My Relations Arts and the Native American Community Development Institute proudly unveil Alter Native by Frank Buffalo Hyde. Alter Native is an electrifying exhibition that uses satire to push boundaries and demand a closer look at the vibrant complexities of Native identity in today's world. So embrace the unexpected and challenge norms with Alter Native by Frank Buffalo Hyde, showing now at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. As nature awakens this spring, let's awaken to the call of protection. Native brothers and sisters, let's bloom together by getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Let's nurture our heritage and safeguard our futures, one vaccination at a time. So be a vaccinative this spring by protecting yourself and others in our Native community. Whether you're due for an updated vaccine or just getting started, all COVID vaccines offer vital protection against severe illness. For our elders over 65, the latest vaccine is recommended by the CDC to maintain protection. So spring forward with strength, Native communities. Embrace the renewal of the season and safeguard our traditions by getting vaccinated against COVID-19. For more information, including details about clinics offering free vaccines, visit vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. This message is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Department of Health.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than four walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer evening. It's everybody over for Sunday dinner and your family sleeping in their own beds at night. Making Home Affordable is a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Showers and thunderstorms this evening with an overnight low of 52. Some thunderstorms this evening could be severe. Then Wednesday, a chance of rain with a high of 71. The hottest music in the Twin Cities can be found at Crooner Supper Club in Fridley, boasting top local and national acts. Crooner's is located just north of I-694 off Highway 65. View their schedules and food menus at croonersmn.com.
Anine, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Hey, we are here with Ruth Buffalo, and I just got to give Ruth a quick shout out to, we were talking about her former basketball career, and also Ruth was a North Dakota representative, and we were able to have Ruth come on for many times. Ruth was always a good sport because, you know, we'd call her last minute and she'd come on, and we really, really appreciate that. And now you're the CEO of Minnesota Women's Resource Center here in the Twin Cities, and we expect and know that good things are going to be happening, and we love having you on and talking about Minnesota Women's Resource Center.
Thank you. Yes, Matsugidad's definitely it's I'm honored to be in this new role. You know, I've been in this new role since March 4th of 2024. I almost said 2014. Whoa. But yeah, it's been good. You know, I'm enjoying the staff and the work, and you know, there's so much to do and long days, and just trying to help rebuild but really stabilize the programs and departments that we have right now. Also looking at, you know, in addition to the jobs that I mentioned that we have posted on our website, miwrc.org, we also are looking at potentially doing some contract hiring, you know, independent contractors for different things, potentially social media and public relations, and even a grant writer in the interim while we get the grant and development manager position filled. So yes, we have lots of moving parts, but it's all exciting, and it's just, you know, good heart work, very meaningful to help serve the community.
Yeah, that is really exciting. And, you know, it's been around since 1984, which is gone through that area, and Franklin Avenue's gone through many transitions over the years, but it's great to have this organization, Minnesota Women's Resource Center, still there and still leading the way. So we're really happy to have you on here and amplify this. One of the things before I get too far here, I know we were talking about Minnesota sports teams last time, and you weren't a big you didn't say anything about the Vikings, so we were just giving you another chance.
Sure. You know, I mean, I'm not really a big football person. You know, my husband is more, but yeah, I mean, I think, you know, when I lived here years ago, I think, you know, I followed the Vikings and all the teams, you know, here, but I would say basketball is kind of love the sport of basketball, love track and field, also volleyball, but yeah, just never really been a big football person. But I have friends that played rugby in college, and but I do think it's super exciting to look at bringing back like some of the older, you know, traditional games, like double ball. I know there were stories of tribes would travel from across the country. It sounded like, traveling to like an independent ball tournament, but for double ball. And they have like goals like that look like, football goals, but they would stretch them. The thing is, you could modify them to as short a distance or as long of a distance as you wanted to. And some of the stories that were shared with me were that sometimes the fields were like miles long, and tribes would travel across the country to compete against one another. But it sounded super fun. And when I was at United Tribes Technical College years ago, we had those the double ball equipment in our department, and so we had a lot of fun, especially in the summertime. But you could also, if you have the space, do that in the inside too, indoors. But
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing story. And Ruth, I'll be 63 Friday, so I have to be careful about any kind of sports because I might break a hip. So at this age.
Oh, congratulations, that's amazing. But yes, I Tai Chi Easy. We've done that a couple times here with the staff, and it can be modified from chair exercises to stationary standing to walking, but it's a good exercise for all of the things, including diabetes prevention and fall prevention. It strengthens the hips for elders and things. So used to teach that at United Tribes Technical College, at Haskell, and then even with Bhutanese refugees in the Kansas City area who were, transitioning into being in the U.S. And so it's a good stress reduction. And they modified Tai Chi to 5 basic movements to help reach the masses, but good stress reduction.
Well, Haley, this is really cool to have Ruth on, and now we're getting to know her even more. My goodness, what the heck? I got to add that to your Wikipedia. Holy mackerel! A lot of stuff.
Tai Chi.
Wow, that's amazing. So, your son, was it your son or your husband that played baseball?
My husband. Yep, he played college baseball, and he's playing in a league this year. So he didn't play last year, but he's playing in a league in Moorhead, an adult league. I believe it's slow pitch.
Well, you never know. It's I played in a baseball league that was a city baseball league, and that was not slow pitch. But soon after these guys were ripping off the curveball, I did go to slow pitch softball.
Yeah, I used to play slow pitch softball leagues in Bismarck. When we lived there, it was super fun. But yeah, I haven't played independent basketball. I got asked to go to Idaho. There's always a big native tournament there. They have like all the ages, 40 and over, 50 and over, old pros. But I couldn't make it, so have yet to play there. But we'll see.
Well, you're still young. You can still do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. But so let's talk a little bit too. What would you say Minnesota Women's Resource Center is known for? Because I know every time we talk and I talk to people about it, there's other things that pop up, and it's kind of like, wow, that's amazing that you do this and that you're bringing stuff back. Talk a little bit about what you think, at least you should think of when you think of Minnesota Women's Resource Center.
I think for sure, serving our women and children, helping secure housing and supportive services, or those that identify as women, and children, especially including our trans relatives. But really, a lot of the work that is done here at MIWRC is prevention of further tragedies, prevention of MMIP, MMIR cases, so it's a lot of strengths-based, all community-based, but really at the heart of it is healing and using our traditional practices and keeping those values in the forefront. But I would say also, what women and children services are all encompassing, which include doula services, traditional birthing and healing, our family services, family preservation, keeping our families together, through supportive kinship work and ICWA liaison positions. And then our unhoused relatives can come here, get a shower, get connected to resources, get a meal. We don't have like in-house therapists or behavioral health services like we used to, but we definitely have strong partners in the community. And again, right now we're just working to really stabilize what we have in-house. We also have a learning center that provides upcoming trainings. We have a Native American training geared towards non-natives who serve high-risk Native individuals, families, and communities. And that's at the end of this month. And that is being hosted by the Learning Center, which is Zawan Gonzalez, who is leading those efforts. He also has a substance use disorder training coming up in June. And so we also have a new or kind of a revived sexual assault survivors support group coming up this week. So yeah, there's a lot of things. We're doing a lot of things in-house and coming together to make sure that we are focusing on our individual healing too, so that we can be, the best that we can in serving the community. And last Tuesday, we were able to go into ceremony together as a staff, after hours, and it was really beautiful. And when I first started here, the first week of March, the same time as the meet and greet across the hall was the cedar ceremony, which is hosted and coordinated with NAC, Native American Community Clinic, and went in and sat there, and then they invited me to go up and participate, and that was beautiful. And just even sitting there and someone said, here's a rattle, and it's just super loving, embracing, and welcoming. And then that following Sunday I was invited to a women's sweat, so just really sort of caught me by surprise, because I didn't expect to be embraced so quickly into being brought into ceremony my first week here in March, so definitely trying to stay, grounded and all of the things, all of the ways, but especially in ceremony. And it's really beautiful to be able to do that with staff too. So.
Yeah, I mean, I want to emphasize that working with staff like that, if you have like you're saying, you have a healthy staff and you're not burning them out and all that, and it's helps the clients and the people that you're trying to help, and that's so important, and that's so indigenous to do that. I really think that a lot of the organizations up and down Franklin Avenue, including yours, is like, take care of yourself first and your family second and your job third, and people just accelerate in their work and their jobs because they have that base and they have that foundation.
Yes, very much so. I'm super thankful for our amazing staff and to be here and just to help move the work forward. I mean, because it's so critical. Each and every program that's here, it's all healing and building and helping our communities thrive, for future generations ahead. So it's amazing to be a part of this good work.
Well, and I want to just say a big Peony Gigi coming on here now as a semi-regular. We really appreciate you amplifying the good work that's happening here in the Twin Cities, and especially with Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. I want to just say a big Peony Gigi and thank you so much for being on.
Yes, Madzigadadz, thank you.
Right on. Hey, that was Ruth Buffalo, and we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a go-to card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. That's 612-373-3333.
Hi, I'm Chuck Manette, owner of Native Concrete and Masonry. With concrete and masonry adding substantial value to your home, it's always a great idea to repair your sidewalks or just add a beautiful new patio. Cracks or heaving in your sidewalks due to tree roots can be dangerous. Native Concrete and Masonry has helped clients across the metro to make their outdoor space safer and helped increase the value to their homes. For patios, sidewalks, driveways, or garage slabs, go to nativeconcretemasonry.com.
Strong Hearts Native Helpline is a free, confidential, and anonymous domestic and sexual violence helpline for Native Americans and Alaska Natives, offering culturally appropriate support and advocacy. Advocates provide peer support, personalized safety planning, referrals to Native-centered service providers, basic information about health options, and general information about jurisdiction and legal advocacy referrals. Call or text 1-844-762-8483 or chat online at strongheartshelpline.org. Advocates are available 24/7.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Hey, we got Wendy back here. Update on the report. It doesn't look like it's doing anything, Wendy.
It's raining, Robert. It is.
Well, get that basement ready for us. Hey, Wendy, I asked you to come on, talk a little bit, and you even have like some fun facts or something here for Native Roots Radio, huh?
It's not really a fun fact. It's something that's been bothering me, and I want to talk about it.
Can't we wait until therapy? What? Wait a minute.
Absolutely. So there's this video going around on social media, and it is to bring awareness. And I'm glad that it's being shown because it's pretty disturbing to me. So anyway, it's the scene is an aquarium, and there's spectators and a big tank where there's dolphins, and one of the dolphins jumped out of the tank and is like flapping around on the right outside the tank. And the most disturbing thing to me about it is not only is this poor animal suffering outside the tank, kind of flapping around, you could see the other two dolphins in the tank are clearly like upset about it and distressed. And there's people in the audience just like sitting there looking on their phones like nothing's happening. I don't know if anybody out there really cares about this. This is something that's near and dear to my heart. These animals are not put on this earth for our entertainment. Right. I am all for banning SeaWorld and any other aquarium of its like that have orcas or dolphins or sea lions or any of those animals. These animals are supposed to be in the sea. Dolphins have families, they have family units, they travel long distances every day. And for them to be captured, usually captured at a young age, or they're born in captivity, it's really a disservice to them. Mm-hmm. So I would say anybody out there who's thinking about going to see one of these shows, just tear up your ticket and go to the ocean and see them in the wild.
Allison agrees with you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. A lot of circuses right now, Barnum and Bailey Circus has stopped putting, animals
like the elephants
and their lions in their act because there's so much controversy, and these poor animals just get on the trains and go from city to city to city, and that's all they do. They perform under the auspices of terror because they're whipped. And, it's just horrible. And that's why they are behaving the way they are. People look at them and they say, oh, look at the bear. He's riding a bicycle. Yeah, the bear's riding the bicycle because if the bear doesn't, the bear's going to get the crap beat out of him. He's going to be starved. This is why they're trained, under terror.
Let me say this, Wendy, that you do not talk from a distance on this. We've been to many circus protests over the years, and so I appreciate you're not just talking out of your butt. You're a doer when it comes to this.
Here's good news.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk about some good news. So the Humane Society of the United States, along with other animal advocacies, I can't remember what year it happened, but in Minneapolis, we were able to pass a no bull hook in Minneapolis. So what that means is a bull hook is a stick with a big hook on the end, right? A bull hook. And the trainers use this to control the elephants. This is a means of, again, terror. The trainers are they're pulling the elephants with this bull hook, and the elephants fear it. They fear it. So the trainers use the bull hook to keep the elephants in line. We were able to ban bull hooks in Minneapolis. Therefore, the circuses that have elephants cannot bring the elephants to Minneapolis because the trainers are not allowed to use the bull hooks. And that's the only way that these elephants are able to, behave themselves.
That's an amazing story, and I remember when that happened.
This is what we need to do. We need to stop buying tickets that animals are in entertainment. These animals are not having fun. They don't belong in cages. They belong in sanctuary. That's where they belong. Anytime there's a ticket involved or there's money involved, the animals have a price tag on them. They're not treated and valued the way they should. So I'm really happy that we were able to do that in Minneapolis. I'm not sure we have one in St. Paul. Maybe that's something we should work on. The problem is, what I want to say about the circus that they have at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds here. It's the
Osmond's Temple.
I don't know. It's a temple, but they gather money and they use it for a children's hospital. Now, we just took our godchildren to a circus that had no animal acts whatsoever, and it was a fantastic time, and we had a great time. What I wanted to say was that's the reason why we couldn't get it done in St. Paul, because the fairgrounds is like
it's its own little
has its own little laws and its own little, I don't know. What do you call that when you're it's like an Indian reservation? What is it like when you have your own
sovereign
law?
nation?
A sovereign nation, exactly. Thank you. I couldn't think of that. Yeah, sovereign nation. So we weren't able to get that passed in St. Paul, but we do protest the circus there.
Well, and it's great two things. It's great to talk about this because not everybody's hip to it. We saw a lot of kids coming to the circus that probably got free tickets, BIPOC people mostly. And so they were really confused because of the, I don't know, what word am I looking for the kind of the.
Well, they didn't really know that the animals are treated badly, and that this is, it's 2024. There should be circuses, absolutely, with no animals.
We have a great circus in St. Paul. Friends of mine started 20 some years ago, Circus Genovetus, I think it's called, and right down in Highland, and it's all acrobats.
Yeah, we had the circus that we went to, Circus Royale.
Yeah.
It was a great time. Dancers, acrobats,
stretching guys,
guys that could move their bodies like pretzels. It was exciting and fun, and there were no animals, and you don't need to, have a good time. Animals. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I keep seeing every time I turn on my social media, I see this poor dolphin outside the tank flapping around.
Don't show it to me.
And
I
haven't
seen
it. Heart-wrenching. So I'm hoping that this video will bring some awareness to people There's an awesome documentary. I hope it's still around. I think it is on Netflix. I think I saw it. It's called Blackfish.
Oh, yeah.
I would recommend everyone to watch Blackfish. And it just kind of shows how these, how the animals are captured, how they're put into these tanks and what their life is really like. And it's really very eye-opening. So I would recommend Blackfish. If you have some time, take a look at it. It's a pretty good documentary.
Hey, before we let you go, Wendy, what's for dinner tonight?
We're having Beyond Beef burgers. They're made with avocado oil. They have a 33% less cholesterol and fats in it than regular burgers. And they're yummy, delicious.
And then what are we having for my birthday?
We're having spaghetti.
Yes. Right on. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you're part of the resistance. We're still here. We are the 7th generation, and this is Native Roots Radio.
Free Leonard Peltier.
No.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. I want to tell you